This is Colleen McGee with the U.S. Army Garrison Fort Riley Public Affairs Office bringing you episode 36 of your Fort Riley podcast. This week, we're talking resiliency and victory wellness with some professionals from the R2 Performance Center.
My name is Joel Dervinga, and I am a contractor with the R2 Performance Center here at Fort Riley.
And tell me what the R2 Performance Center has to offer.
Yeah, so the R2 Performance Center really is focused on that idea of holistic wellness, specifically focused on resilience. As part of Victory Wellness, we take our MRT skills, those resilience skills, and really focus on how do we actually apply those to our everyday lives. So what does that actually look like to be resilient? Not just learning the concepts, not just learning the skill, but how does it actually look? So that's what we've been able to do with our Victory Wellness days.
What does it actually look like?
Yeah, so some of it is just having a good conversation around those different skills, recognizing that we've got a lot of beliefs in our lives that impact the way that we move through the world. One of the skills we talk about is confirmation bias. That's the tendency to notice, remember, and weight evidence differently based on our beliefs. So one way that we talk about that in Victory Wellness is just what evidence are we seeing that's sticking to us because we're already having this belief, and then what evidence is sliding off that we're not noticing or remembering because it just doesn't make us right. And human nature, we want to feel like we're accurate in our assumptions. So being able to just have that general conversation about our overall beliefs can gain a little bit more insight.
Kind of opening the aperture and giving yourself a different perspective.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of times we do get this kind of one-track mind, and it's the easy route, right? We want to take kind of that path of least resistance, but sometimes taking that good hard look in the mirror can gain a lot more self-awareness in that case.
When you said the words good hard look in the mirror, I latched onto the word hard there because it's not easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely self-awareness is a challenge. It's something that every single one of us deals with on a regular basis. So a cousin of self-awareness is self-regulation. So sometimes it does take, once you take that good hard look in the mirror, take that step back, you take a few kind of slow, deep breaths to regain some of that composure when you do notice that you're feeling frustrated or upset about maybe even just a thought that you've been having. That can definitely be another way to gain some resilience. With the way life works, a lot of times we're thinking about what's going to happen in the future, or we're thinking about what happened to us in the past. But a lot of times we just need to focus on the current situation that we're in, our current present, the current present moment that we're in. One of my great mentors would always tell us, be where your feet are. So just kind of that idea of be in the here and now, be present-minded, and then we can deal with what happened in the past, and whenever the future challenges hit us, we can attack them once we're actually there. But in order to do that, we still need to be in that present mind. So yeah, that's definitely a great technique. And another great technique with that is just that idea of deliberate breathing, taking just a few slow, deep breaths to kind of regain some of that composure, to slow down the brain so that we can actually focus on the here and now.
Say a unit comes to you guys, schedule some time. Walk me through something that you might do with a unit to build resiliency as a group.
Yeah, so building resiliency as a group is a fun challenge for us. So the first thing that we would do would be just to simply have a discussion about what are some of the unit challenges that are going on, just to get a feel for some of the issues that they might be dealing with, and then really try to open up that conversation. And a great technique that we sometimes use is the idea of effective praise. So a lot of times when we're going through life, it's easy to focus on criticism and trying to encourage and help those around us as a leader. You want to focus on the areas where we might be deficient and help people improve. But in that, a lot of times we forget about the areas where we're actually doing really well. So that's another skill that we've discussed is, how can we be there and remind people when they're doing things right? How can we reinforce that by giving them some effective praise, really focusing on the specific strategy that worked and how they can actually repeat it for the future?
Now, is this something that you would do during these scheduled Victory Wellness days?
Yeah, absolutely. We've definitely done workshops like this already, within that 90-minute to 3-hour range, whatever is allotted for us. The fun part is coming up with different activities that can elicit these strategies and elicit these skills and get the opportunity to practice them as well. It's good to know the knowledge, but when you actually get to practice the actual skill is when you actually gain the most benefit.
Now, you guys have been around for a while offering this service to units and offices. I know my own office, we've come to you guys and done some things to help solidify our team.
Yeah, so with Victory Wellness, if you look at the scheduled topics and scheduled themes, most of those topics, at least half of them, are focused on how do you build a stronger team. Yeah, with Victory Wellness, a lot of our focus is on that team performance. How can we perform better as a team? How can we optimize our overall unit? How can we optimize the way that we work together? So with those Victory Wellness days, we encourage that crosstalk, encourage that communication within the team, and then us as a staff, we're here just to help facilitate those conversations in a productive manner and hopefully have some fun in the process. The biggest thing with Victory Wellness is that holistic nature. So really looking at all the different themes that encompass Victory Wellness, all of those can kind of come together and include those mental skills in them. So we're definitely ready and willing to help whatever units are out there and looking for some performances that they might have in the future that they want a little bit of extra help with. Or maybe it is just wanting to build a stronger team. We can definitely put together a fun training, work to build that holistic wellness that we talked about.
Now, I remember some statistics where we had some guys go out and do some live fire training. And then they came and they worked with your team. And they went back out and did some more training, and their scores significantly improved.
Yeah, so that's the other half of my job. A lot of our performances are focused on kind of how do we mentally perform at our best when we need it most. All of our skills are based in sport and exercise psychology. So the same sort of training that Major League Baseball would have or the NFL would have, we can offer here at Fort Riley as well. So to increase the overall performance of those units. Our trainings can be very customizable to the different units as well. So that's where whoever is coming to us to schedule the training, we like to have a quick conversation with them to help kind of customize the training specific for that unit. It's not a one-size-fits-all type of program. We're going to create a curriculum or a program for you all that makes the most sense for the time allotment as well as the performances that are upcoming.
So that POC, how do they go about starting that dialogue with you and getting scheduled?
So the first thing would just be to call the Victory Center, 239-8835, and we'll take it from there.
Again, that phone number is 239-8835. Give the R2 Performance Center a chance to enhance your office or your unit's team.